So, gents, we're a bit late. We're a bit late because of some IT issues. We just had our Man United resident telling the Champions League winner there to sort his shit out there. Silo, you want to tell him?
Yeah, man. Hey, didn't Thomas Tuchel distribute some budget there, man? What's happening, man? Come on, bro.
Sorry,
Come
it's
on, man.
new tech. Champions with new tech, man. It's how it works.
But can you guys just do a favor? Can you just say happy birthday to my niece, Lesedi? She's turning 15 today. I had to cut the birthday celebration short because of the show. So please, guys, just say happy birthday.
Lesedi!
Happy birthday,
Lesedi! Thanks.
Was it Lesedi that did the reveal, Settle?
It was her who did the reveal for Belgium, yes.
It's a good thing you guys didn't give her my cupcake. She would have been so sad.
Hey, but Wonga also, did you eat all the cupcakes at once?
Yeah, he did.
No, I had to bite them. Yeah, I had to bite them one by one. Then I put 4 of them and it felt like I ate them all. They were heavy, but they were nice. They were
very tasty.
And you guys, I noticed.
Which team does Lesedi support?
She doesn't support any team except for teams that I support.
You're leading it down the wrong path.
So she's stuck with North Macedonia then.
Listen to this guy.
I didn't get one that bad.
She supports Man United. So she supports Man United and Kaizer Chiefs.
That's all right.
I don't know about that.
Look at this. Pum's already laughing. He's clearly been keeping up to date with the reveal online on the socials. There, Shaka just belongs with Wonga. Wonga? Yeah?
They go like this. They belong together.
I smelt that coming, bro.
Right, guys, just to kick off the formalities before we continue for the rest of the show, if you haven't joined our Discord channel, do that. The link's in the channel. If you haven't joined our Super Brew channel or league that Sedlo has created for the Goal Lounge team, please feel free to do that. The link again is in the bottom. And then also, what we're going to do throughout the course of the show is the guys are going to reveal the 4 teams they've been given for the tournament. If you like the teams that they have been given throughout the social media of the course of the month, if you're supporting the team and you're supporting the guy, you just hashtag back Selo, back Nick, back Wonga, back whoever you want to support throughout the course of the tournament. So they know that you've got their back. As you can see, you're probably going to have Portugal's back because, Portugal's cool. Let's not lie about this.
Take it easy. You've had your day in the sun.
Check if this thing was rigged or what.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, let's talk about that.
Guys, that thing was rigged. Guys, that thing was rigged. I'm telling you guys. How can the Englishman Matt get England and the Portuguese guy Claudio get Portugal and then Nick, whose mom is Scottish, get Scotland? That is rigged. That's rigged, guys.
We've got to talk to the admin person on how that was worked out. Talk to Renee's Cupcakes, guys. She's the one who put the things in the cupcakes.
So I don't know about you guys, but Scotland for me had a little star next to the name. I don't know if you must check Italy there, France, Portugal.
Oh yes, Italy had a star for me. Italy had a star for me.
We see you, Christy. We see you.
Oh, yes. Christy, yes. Okay, yes.
I'm sure Wonga had a star next to Switzerland.
Switzerland, yes.
Oh, jeez. But guys, I'm not going to lie. At some points, I'm going to have to put Wonga's full reveal on. It's the funniest 4 minutes of your life. I promise you, it will be time really well spent of him eating his cupcake and explaining every team and saying how he's been rigged and conned. But about that, guys, okay, let's kick on. Selo, tell us about the teams that you've been given through the cupcake reveal and pretty much where your thoughts are and how you think they're going to go about this tournament.
So yeah, I've got North Macedonia, which was the first one I got, which was very disappointing. I was very sad, man. I was very sad. Initially I only knew one player, but then I had to be reminded that actually I know 2 players. So the legendary Goran Pandev used to play for Inter Milan and other teams in Italy. He's their captain. And then Alioski, who's the left back for Leeds, number 10 for Leeds, who plays left back for Leeds. He's also their team. But yeah, man, I think they just in the tournament to make up the numbers. It's great for them to have qualified. Firstly, that's great for them. And I'm just hoping that they can at least score that first goal. I'm gonna jump up for joy when they score that first goal. Have beer in my hand and just down a drink and celebrate and go mad with the Macedonians. And then the second team I have is Poland, which could be a dark horse to go further in the tournament. They've got Lewandowski as the captain and the talisman, and other players
some players
as well.
there. You got some players there. Sorry.
Exactly, man. So obviously Lewandowski, you got Szczesny or Fabianski in goals. So they've got some household names in their team.
Which group is Poland in?
Let me just double check that actually.
E.
Also, with the Euros, guys, the Euros, the way they're structured, because they do that whole thing of it's 24 teams and then 16 teams going to the last 16. So only 8 teams don't qualify, guys. So if you don't have 2 teams that make it to that next round, guys, I question your teams, guys. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm serious, guys. But Poland is the same group as Slovakia, Spain, and Sweden. It's quite a tricky group. Anyone can drop out from those 4 because there's 6 groups, and then all the winners from those 6 groups and the second place make it, and then the 4 best third place teams out of the 6 groups. So yeah, let's hope my team is one of the best third place teams, and then. The team that I'm excited about having is Italy. Forza di Azzurri. I think they're gonna have a great tournament. Verratti in the midfield, Barella, Jorginho. Defense Bonucci, goalkeepers Donnarumma. They got Immobile, they got Insigne. Hey, man, they got quite a good team. They got some players.
Italy always seem to know what to do when it comes to like the tournament time, right? They always switch on.
That's old Italy, though. Also, that's old Italy. I don't know if new Italy, maybe with Mancini there, he knows something.
Yeah, with him, they've been much better. They topped their group in qualifying. They've been doing much better since he's taken on. I'm just disappointed that Moise Kean didn't make the squad. He had done more for PSG. I think he would have been a great addition to the squad. But hey, man, it's a good team nonetheless. And then another team that I have is the Red Devils, the number 1 ranked team in the world. Belgium, Kevin De Bruyne, Romelu Lukaku, the most prolific international striker right now.
You can have him at Man United.
Thibaut Courtois is the goalkeeper. I think my chances definitely of my 4 teams making the last 16. I've got 3 teams. I'm very confident that will make the last 16. My 3 teams will definitely 3 out of 4 definitely.
That's pretty confident, guys. Before we move on, I just want to give a shout out to Arjun again, saying, welcome to Manchester, Tevez style poster, and you guys ready? 3, 2, 1. He's saying.
Stop it!
We got Pums backing Belgium, and so I guess he's gonna have a bit of a back seller. He's in your corner there. Tricky,
nice one, Pums.
Is the brain cleared fit? Oh, Portugal fan. Oh, lo.
Yeah, there he goes. He says everyone's secretly supporting Portugal.
Is the brainer cleared fit and ready to feature for Belgium in this tournament?
No, in the tournament, yeah, but maybe not the first game. But hey, man, listen, they've got Yuri Tillemans in the midfield as well.
Yeah.
They've got Axel Witsel. They've got some quality guys. So Dries
There's depth in the
Mertens,
squad.
Eden Hazard will try and be proving a point. He's the captain of the team, so he'll be trying to prove a point that hey, man, he's actually got something to still offer. So yeah, let's see what happens, man.
Okay.
Right, Nick, let's hear what do you have for us, man?
So I think I got the short straw with this whole England, Scotland, Portugal trifecta. So
my straw is invisible.
I've got an English father. And a Scottish mother.
and they give you Scotland.
No, and then we get Matt, whose second team because of his wife would be Portugal. But our host has to have Portugal, so I ended up getting Scotland. But I'm actually stoked. I think from my point of view, their first major tournament since 1998, and the country is very excited. I've got family back home; they can't wait, and I think they might be a little bit of a dark horse. Qualified through the Nations League, and they always pose a tough sort of challenge. For the teams they play. I don't think it's going to be a walkover against England because it's going to be a big sort of, local derby, if you want to call it that. And then they've got Czech Republic, which is another team that I have in their group. And they actually beat the Czech Republic last year already, 2-1. So I think 3 of the teams that I have all played each other in the same group. Sorry, they're not. I don't have England, but England had played against Czech Republic last year, beat them 5-0, and actually lost to the Czech Republic 2-1 the year before that in the qualification. So Czech Republic and Scotland might be there just to spoil the party. So I'm quite looking forward to the likes of for Scotland, McGinn, Robertson, Che Adams. To see what they can possibly do.
Scotty McTominay.
I haven't forgotten about him, but he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna be the instrumental man. Come on, Silo. It has to be McGinn. It has to be McGinn and Robertson. I think the standouts for Czech Republic would definitely be Souček. I need to do a bit more work on them and try and figure out. Where their strengths are. They got caned by England in the qualifications 5-0, and they beat England 2-1. So it's probably a matter of being inconsistent. But my other 2 teams, a little bit of a wild card in Denmark, the likes of Schmeichel and Christian Eriksen. And then the one that's probably the strongest would be your Germany. With your Kroos, you've got Gundogan, you've got Muller, Havertz. So I'm looking forward to them. I can't wait to see Gnabry do his little celebration there. Add in a spice. So yeah, I'm quietly optimistic. But yeah,
I'd be
best
very
believe I am
optimistic.
supporting England as well.
In the back.
Yeah, in the back.
I'd be very optimistic if I had a Germany featuring in my pick, man. It's always kind of guaranteed that they'd get to a semi-final or final of any major type of tournament.
But they're going through a weird like transitional phase.
Yeah.
We know it's Yuki Lowe's last tournament as the manager, so maybe that's something to go by where he's going to go guns blazing and hopefully they're going to play it for him. I don't think that's going to happen. Knowing you've got Timo Werner up front there, the Chelsea boy. I don't know. Do you think he'll find his form this tournament, guys?
I just
No comment.
if I just look at their last fixture and their lineup, just the sort of players they have. You've got Kroos, Kimmich, Gundogan, Gosens, Havertz, Muller, Gnabry. I haven't even spoken about Rudiger and Hummels at the back.
And even Leroy Sané.
They've got Leroy Sané. I haven't even mentioned Werner, but Werner will probably miss his bus to get to the first game. So in terms of their actual quality, I know they played Latvia, but they absolutely caned Latvia 7-1 in their last friendly. So it will be interesting. I would say, I personally think France is probably the favorites, but the Euros always have this way of just there's a dark horse, an underdog that comes through and sort of does the business. So yeah, it will be interesting to see.
Yeah. All right. Mosa, you want to share your thoughts there?
So yeah, man, I think the dark horses.
Oh wait, sorry, Mosa. Sorry to interrupt you there, Mosa. I just want to say shout out to Kevin for joining us. It's been a long time.
Yeah, shout out Kevin.
Shout out Kevin.
I thought Kevin would have come immediately after the Champions League final, but he must have been hungover.
Oh, so hungover. Now he's taking his time.
Nothing wrong. We can still celebrate. We can still celebrate, Chief. If you want to celebrate right now, you can celebrate the whole summer.
So yeah, Mosa, sorry. As you were.
my four are pretty exciting. It's a mixed bag from my side, where I feel like there are two dark horses in my pickings. So far, Ukraine is definitely the darkest of the horses in my view, but they do have an opportunity to come out of that group, given they're with Austria, Netherlands, and your team there, Silo, North Macedonia. I think players like Zinchenko, and they set up might be able to give them a good chance, because all you really need is like one result to then have a good chance to actually qualify as a top three teams. So I think we should be able to get out of that. I've got Wales second, who they need to impress me. Honestly, that front three of Wilson, Bale, and James, it doesn't create any like confidence in me. Maybe because some Man United players are there, but hopefully they can put it together. There'll be a lot of pace and a lot of energy from the likes of Bale.
James is fire. James is fire for his country, bro. And he's got pace to burn.
Well, I need to see that pace burn, Chief. I need to see something from him. So yeah, man, they're in a tough group with Turkey, Switzerland, and Italy. So I think they're really gonna have to impress to get out of that group, because it'll have to be between them and Switzerland to compete to get out of there, if you ask me. But yeah, hopefully they can pull it through. Then I've got my team, Croatia. Team that's gone through a bit of a change. There's the old guard is kind of moving out, although players like Modric and Perisic are still there. You've seen a lot of Mandzukic and Rakitic actually moving out of the picture. And yeah, man, how it comes together, it's all exciting. But they've also shown in previous Euros and in World Cups that, when it comes to a tournament, I feel like they know how to manage themselves and manage their emotions and manage their camp pretty well. So I'm very, very excited for what they can prove. They're in a tough group, but I think they will be able to get the better of Scotland and Czech Republic. Their first game is against England, which might be a little bit more challenging, given England's squad.
Croatia has to go to Hampden Park. Hampden Park is a tough place to go to in Glasgow. Think about Rangers and Celtic fans there. There's going to be no Croatian fans there. They're going to have it.
But how do you guys feel about that, guys? That certain teams have home advantage, certain teams don't have home advantage. So it's not like you're going to what's the capital of Croatia again? Zagreb. You're not going to Zagreb. You're not going to Zagreb. You know what I mean? That's unfair, guys.
Yeah, but they all agreeing to it. They all voted for this tournament. All the associations voted for it.
No, so. I'm sure the smaller nations were like, "Hey guys, can we also host?" They're like, "Hey, for sake."
This is Scotland. You're gonna get knocked out in the first round.
Hey, bro, come on, man. Take it easy.
But will Hampden will it be full, or will it be like limited to 20%, 30% of capacity?
I saw they're gonna have 22,000. I think just short of what Wembley are gonna have. I don't know what that is. 20%, 25%.
Okay.
Yeah, not too much.
Okay,
but it's better than nothing,
not too
I guess.
Much. Yeah, true, and it'll be like a real experience for all the players as well to go play there. Maybe some of them, it'll be their first time actually playing in that pitch. So that's quite good. It's a very different team to the team that we saw go to the World Cup final in terms of makeup and structure. But I think some of the players that do play in that squad, some of them have won the Champions League quite a few times. Kovacic is there, Modric is there. There are players that have pedigree of winning some type of silverware. So I think they'll be able to pull it out, the rabbit out the hat, and get through to potentially quarterfinals and semifinals, or even the whole way to compete in the final, So I'm very excited about that. And then my last one, if Croatia make it to the final, they're going to make it to the final against my last one, against these lads behind me.
Guys, I'm sorry. Did Musa luck out on this draw? Did he luck out? Is he the one with the best draw?
Those guys are fighting, apparently. Those two players are fighting.
Yeah, these two specifically. But I feel
fighting. They're fighting, apparently. They said Giroud was saying that apparently certain players don't pass to him. He was actually referring to Mbappe, and then Mbappe actually wanted to have a press conference to clarify and say that this is a lie, whatever. But if you look at the game that they had 2 nights ago,
the numbers don't lie.
Mbappe didn't celebrate with Giroud.
Yeah, and the numbers don't lie. Like Mbappe hasn't passed Giroud in a lot of games. I think it's been like 9 passes in about 360 minutes. That's 6 games or like 5 games. Whereas
I think Mbappe is just worried about his move to Newcastle right now.
134 million, boy.
Nick, did you
Griezmann,
see
the manager.
Oh,
Did you
Hey,
see what
guys,
Algin said? Did you guys see what Algin said?
Yeah,
Guys,
it's a load of nonsense. Don't worry about that.
Did you guys greet Nico there, man? And just, hey, Nico, thanks for housing me in your home today.
Nico.
Since I have load shedding at my place, man. My chicken, thanks, bro. If without you, I wouldn't be on the show tonight.
Yeah, shout out, Nico. I think we
Chelsea
haven't
fans
given...
are always housing the Man United fans. Chief, we always keep you guys nice and safe and warm, dog. Even when you need a shoulder to cry on. When you need a shoulder to cry on, you can come to us, champ. So yeah, man,
guys.
very excited. France, I think, have a very, very strong chance. I think you know what's crazy with France? They always seem to have these type of niggles in the change room before a major tournament. I remember when we last saw Benzema playing. Yeah, exactly. Like we saw a couple of players bow out during the camp, and that kind of stifles them quite a bit in their tournaments. But yeah, hopefully this doesn't disrupt the team too much. And yeah, man, I understand where Giroud's coming from. You know, like Mbappe has won the World Cup with Giroud right next to him. He's won quite a few things with Giroud doing his job for the team. To have a Benzema coming into the fold now, yes, his form is hot, but you know there is some level of respect that you should give to a player that's assisted you in winning major tournaments before. And I feel like for Mbappe to have taken that comment personally when there are 9 other players around those 2 guys is maybe not professional and maybe a little bit too much. He's been given too many soft hands and gestures at PSG, where now it's big. It's a national team, and players will speak their heart, and players will be very, very frank and honest without managing people's egos. And potentially that's what we're seeing from the French team.
I think he's immature, man. I think Mbappe needs to stop hanging out with Neymar so much, man.
Yeah, I think so. I think that guy's charring him. It must be done. You must leave PSG tomorrow and come to Liverpool, and I'll be happy. Then we can move on with our lives.
Do you guys have the money?
Sorry, what is that?
Do you guys have the money?
Do we have the money? Man, we'll call LeBron James, makes a plan, calls the guy and say, hey, you know what, name Mbappe, you can have your own brand with Nike. We can call it the Mbappe Lightning or something. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Wanga, you've been super quiet. You've been so quiet, man. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm trying to get my internet sorted here, and this load shedding is not helping. I don't even have a data connection because of this load shedding. Yeah, my teams, like you guys, I can't believe I got these teams. But anyways, Russia, that was the first one that we got in there. No, Russia's not a bad team.
That's a good team, man.
Yeah, it's just for me
I watched their friendly the other day against, was it Belarus or Bulgaria or something? Yeah, they were quite decent, man.
Yeah, I'll check for you now if this internet doesn't
I think
down.
And don't they have a home game? They have home games in Moscow, I think.
Yeah, they do.
I'm not too sure.
Nice.
I don't think it's not in Moscow, in St. Petersburg.
St. Petersburg, correct.
Okay,
yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
That's nice. You see,
they played Bulgaria. They won 1-0 against Bulgaria.
Yeah, I watched the highlights of that game.
Yeah, but I mean, they even played a friendly, and they drew 1-1 with Poland as well. Poland, a strong team, in my opinion. And again, Russia was a surprise in the previous tournaments as well. I think they managed to get to the final 8, but then they got out. And then I think the coach was also, how do you pronounce his name? Is it Stanislav Cherchesov? The manager. He's managing them again in this.
That was a hell of an
Must have a
attempt.
shot of
Wanga, well
vodka.
done.
Hell of an attempt. Next time you must have a shot of vodka before you say his name, Chief.
But Scotland did pretty well. Not Scotland, sorry. Russia did pretty well in the qualifiers. I think they cleaned out Scotland. Who else did they beat? Got a chat of Scotland. took out Kazakhstan, Cyprus, San Marino doesn't really count. But yeah, I mean they ended up, I think it was 9 points clear of Scotland in their qualifiers. So I think they had a good run. But I mean, the tournament was again meant to be held last year, and I think most teams were. I mean, a team like Russia coming with that form would have probably done well, but now it's a year later now, so we can only see where that will end up. And I think for them, in their group, they do have a chance of going through. I think they are capable of doing it. I think the manager has the experience. From what I read, I think what they're more worried, what people see is the problem with Russia will be is the defense. They say the inexperience. I think all of us know Akinfeev.
They've got a 50-year-old. They've got a 50-year-old left back who's still playing, man. Yunus Zemkov was playing for Chelsea when Roman Abramovich took over Chelsea.
He's still playing.
He's still playing, bro. That guy's like so old. I think he's like 40-something years old. No ways, man.
Yeah, so I didn't say anything about him, but they were more referring to the fact that they wouldn't have someone like Akinfeev in there. I don't think the player you mentioned will be a starting player, but he will be going with them. But Akinfeev won't be there. He was always with Russia, but I don't think he took them to the last date, and then he gets pummeled there. But they will cause difficulties, that's for sure. That I know, because the manager has the experience. And then you go to a team like what was the next team?
Might I add, with Russia though, the previous tournament they did very well because they were in front of their home fans for the entire tournament.
True. Yes.
Yeah.
And they're playing at home again, so
yeah.
There's something
Let's
there.
see how it pans out,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, and I think they don't concede like. I mean, there was a match I think against Turkey when they conceded 5, but it's not often that happens. But it looks like, looking at the results, I mean, with all these frenzies, it looks like they are sort of. I mean, it's not like they're leaking savagely at the back. I think they can still cause not up, but they can still hold their own. Let me say that. But a team like Belgium cleaned them twice. So I think they'll clean them again. That's for sure. The next team I got was
look at the context here. You've got in that group, you've got Belgium, Denmark, Finland, and Russia. So out of those 4, I mean, I suppose we'll get to that. I suppose we'll get into the nitty gritty. You keep going as you were with regards to your teams. Your next one.
Okay, I got the next one. Was he'll do second last. The next one was the next one was Slovakia. That's my next one I want to pick out. Gee whiz. This was like a bit of research for me looking at these teams in this.
You've got Dubravka there in goals.
No, does he start?
He does.
Does he start?
Yeah.
No, man. Come on. Someone else starts, man.
For Slovakia.
Man.
Slovakia.
Look, where's
I know they still got.
Where's Jan Oblak from? Is he Slovenia?
Guys, Dubravka starts for
he's not Slovakia.
Where's Jan Oblak is from? Oh, he's from Slovenia. Okay, not Slovakia. Okay.
Yeah, he's Slovenia. He's not Slovakia.
Just relax,
okay.
bro.
He's not in this team.
Dubravka is better than De Gea. Just so you know.
But again, this team, not much I know about them, but they did play a friendly against Austria. They drew 0-0. You're looking at their record.
Who kept the clean sheet?
Who kept the clean sheet? They're looking at it was. It was Dubravka. He was the it was Dubravka keeping it. But a player I read like a player. I think Hamšík was supposed to be ISO, but he's not here. I don't know what people are saying. What I read was Hamšík was there, but he's not. I don't think he was not in the squad. They said he was picked, but in the last friendly he played, he wasn't there. It was Hamšík and Skirtle. They said that were in the squad still. But again, with them,
he must be in a wheelchair by now. Surely.
Yo, bro.
That's what they said.
They got Skriniar. They got Skriniar from Inter Milan. They got Skriniar from Inter Milan at least.
Yeah, Yeah, that's true. And but look, if I look at this team and I'm looking at their record as well, I don't think they're gonna cause much of an upset. From what I read as well, they're also struggling with the defense. They believe at front they can hold it, but I mean, defense-wise, you're gonna need you need experience in your defense if you want to do well in a tournament. And I think they're gonna lose. I mean, they've got Poland, Spain, Sweden, and Slovakia, and I think if I'm looking at the Spain and Poland differently, like maybe Spain has got problems of their own, but they should be able to go through, and Spain and Poland should be able to go through on that one. I don't think Slovakia will cause much of a problem.
You know what? You're also forgetting Sweden in that group. I don't understand why you're just overlooking the lads there. Hey,
I love Sweden.
So what I said, no, that's what I'm saying. I did say Sweden.
Poland, Spain. Yeah.
I think, yeah. I mean, look, Sweden, they're a decent team. Okay, yeah. Let's say Sweden and Poland next to each other, but Slovakia, I don't think go on par with anyone there. So I think they will have themselves a tough tournament this coming week. My next team, my favorite, Switzerland.
Sounds like another Arsenal type of scenario, Chief.
Switzerland, decent squad. I know everyone was. For me, look, I've never only watched one game. I've mentioned him with where Xhaka was playing. It's if I look at it, it's a team. It's one thing I'm going to watch this tournament is Xhaka playing in Switzerland because I heavily criticize him and what he does with our team. In our team.
He's your captain for Switzerland, bro. He was your captain for Switzerland, bro.
Yeah, but it's a different.
He tends to play very well for Switzerland, if you ask me, man.
That's what I hear. And like I said, the last game they played against Germany, people are going crazy. Blah blah blah. I came back to Arsenal. We finished 10th, 9th. I don't know. But it's
somewhere there.
I think Wonga, if I can just interrupt you, I think the admin was trying to go, look, we know your opinions on Xhaka. Let's see what you think about Xhaka when he's playing for his national team. So when he stays at Arsenal, you're all right. You're not too upset about it. I think that's what the thought process was behind that.
To give him another season, Jim.
No.
Give him another contract. Give him the armband.
The man is stressed. The man is stressed.
Look, even Pums is saying. He's saying Xhaka's class for Switzerland there.
Yeah, but I think looking at the team as a whole, I think Switzerland do have a chance to also hold their own in their group as well. So if
you've also got Shaqiri. Don't forget Shaqiri there.
Yes, we've got the widest man in the world. Don't know how he goes through doors forward. 100% that guy enters doors sideways all the time. Yes, but yeah, they've also got him as well. But the Switzerland team, it's decent. I think
it will go around the building, boy.
It will cause problems for the in this Euro, and I think my last team, Netherlands, a team which I did want, but again, it might actually have come a year late for them as well. They were on form coming into the qualifiers last year. They were hot. I think even the year before that.
And they had a different coach that is actually reliable.
Yes,
not this coach, because De Boer, hey man, I'm not sure about Ronald De Boer, bro. Hey.
Yeah, and De Boer, I think he's lost. Now he's won 3 out of his last 5 games, and people are going to start asking. Well, they are asking questions about him. I think. Look, I mean, if you look at Netherlands, I mean, up front they've got their team up front. In the middle, you got your Frankie De Jong. The back, you got your De Ligt. Maybe not experienced, but definitely quality players. I mean, all around their team. People are wondering. I don't think Van Dijk. Look, Van Dijk. Yes, he's a loss. Let's say put it like that. But I think they still have players to go on with our team there. I think it's a good decision that he made to not put himself forward for the Euros. It must have been a tough one for him, but definitely the best. I think for himself, it's the best decision. But again, the question. Look, I mean, last year people would have said, Netherlands stands a good chance. I still think they sort of stand a chance, but definitely not as great as they had last year. Last year I would have probably put my money on Netherlands, but not this year. I don't think I'll do that. That's the honest truth.
But their group's quite kind to them. I mean, Austria, North Macedonia, and Ukraine. I suppose that's why Adrian's saying Netherlands. If Van Dijk was there, then there would have been a party. Now that they're not there, probably going to go out round 16, according to him. But
and Donny.
Oh yeah, and Donny van de Beek. Oh, shame. Yeah, he's also one that.
And he's a big player there for Netherlands.
There's also a guy they said he was what's it? Daniel Marlin. Apparently he's I think he's a winger. He's a winger or striker for the Dutch team. I didn't actually see his position, but they said this one player that we should watch out for. Yeah. Goal scorer is what they call him.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Matt's not here today because his wife's gone for backup. So he's actually attending to that scenario. But I want to talk about the teams that he's got. And you guys can all feel free to chip in, seeing as one of the teams is being supported by Nick as well. We've got his first team being Spain. I mean, they normally are big hitters at tournaments. His second team is Austria. His third team is Hungary. Do you guys know
what's happening with Spain and the COVID scenarios?
So they've brought in about 17 under 21s or something, and they're gonna have they're having a parallel bubble alongside the main team. And in case there's if there's more positive cases, then I guess that the under 21s will take over and play.
Sure.
I was watching a bit of that game with the under 21s. Those boys can actually jam. They really, really do look up for it. If anything, they look very fit, very ready. They look well coached and well drilled already.
Yeah, so I think because they got out in the semifinals of the under 21 championships. So I think
I think they're all going to get their vaccinations now, from what I heard.
Oh, is it okay?
They're going to get their vaccinations before the tournament starts.
Yeah, because Sergio Busquets got tested positive, so I think that's what I think they were scared of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they'll bring in Ramos.
What do you guys think of that squad? Do you think they have a chance of actually competing for the Euros? I know if it was 2 tournaments ago, it would be very appealing to say, Spain have a really good chance. But I don't know if they're still there at that level of performance, if they look as exciting or have a strong chance to say they're going to go for the whole thing.
Quarterfinals, definitely. I feel quarterfinals definitely. I think their coach is a good coach. So that's the first thing that helps. You know what I mean? I think that helps the team. But I think you still need to pick Ramos for leadership, man. I don't know why they didn't pick him. I know that he's not 100% fit, and he's only played 1 game since Feb or March, it was, whatever. But I think you still need to pick him. Now you're picking other guys, you know what I mean? Cool, but you just need to have Ramos's experience in the team, man. And then now Busquets got COVID. So where's the experience? You know what I mean? Where's the experience coming from? I don't know where the experience comes from. Who's captain? I think Koke is captain in the center mid. But you still need that. You still need that experience from Ramos, definitely, man.
Yeah, it's like asking the question: would you leave a Ramos at home and take Harry Maguire, or would you take Ramos?
Ramos, bro.
You go with
Ramos, bro. You go Ramos, bro.
Nick, why can't you help Man United win the Europa? What are you taking the man there for?
Nico Pacheco there is our COVID officer here, giving us the stats. So Diego Llorente and Busquets, that's 2 Spanish players positive. Okay, Kulusevski is, where does Kulusevski come from? Sweden. He's tested positive. So you see, there's a lot of players that tested positive, guys. Which is
and it's going to be interesting now that they've done it the way they've done it, considering they're going to be traveling. So that's going to be, I think he's got a valid point in terms of, so these are the current players that are going to miss the tournament, but it's going to be interesting in seeing how many players will miss the tournament moving forward. I know Nick's got his whole Varsity Cup thing moving forward, and they're going to be playing in a bubble. That probably would have been more appropriate for something like this. But they've not chosen to do that. But let's talk about the second, or should I say the third team that Matt has, and that's England. And gentlemen, I know there's a lot to be said about England. That is, the Premier League is what we follow, so we know these players pretty well. We know, obviously, Matt's supporting them. Nick's also supporting them on the side. What are our thoughts there surrounding England?
I think personally that their biggest, their biggest downfall is their own media. Every single tournament they go into a tournament, the fans start singing "It's Coming Home," and don't get me wrong, I love it as well. There's a sense of pride in that when they actually do sing that song and it eventually happens. It will mean the most for the nation.
Eventually happens.
I personally
They've been singing it since 1968. I'm saying the tournament after. I'm saying the tournament after they won. So I'm saying they won it, and the tournament after they started saying "It's Coming Home," and
yeah, that's true. But what I can say, back home. what I can say is, if you look at most of the squads, and that's why the Euros I think is always the biggest opportunity. They overachieved at the World Cup, coming to a semi-final. If they found themselves in a final, it would have been an incredible achievement. But you go to a Euro tournament where there's quite a few teams in a transition period. You've got maybe a France that. How many teams go on to win a World Cup and then a Euro? I think Spain did it, but not many teams actually go on and win back-to-back titles. So if you look at it from that aspect, maybe you don't say France win it. You see Spain, who's potentially a completely different squad to what we're used to. You've got a Belgium who has always had a strong squad, but they've never really delivered in the last sort of 3 tournaments. You have a Netherlands that's in a transition period. You're in a Portugal, which is a wild card that can win or they can be absolutely horrendous. And I think Italy's in the same bracket. So I think for a young England team...
I don't think... sorry to interrupt you there. They're not in the same bracket. I think Liverpool are just above. But yeah, sure, continue.
He said Liverpool. Yeah? He said Liverpool, guys. He said Liverpool.
He said Liverpool.
No, what are you talking about?
Straight. No, man. Straight.
He said Liverpool.
Teams. I see them as one. I see them as one.
Liverpool's playing in the Euros, gentlemen.
Liverpool's playing the Euros, guys.
Liverpool is everywhere, Baba.
Liverpool don't see themselves as part of England. That's what they're like. Barcelona and Spain, guys. Come on. Now.
I think I missed something. Guys, I honestly missed something. But anyway, so what I'm saying to you is, if there's an opportunity...
This man doesn't know any other team besides Liverpool. Let me ask him for which top 4 teams he picked for the Euros. It's Liverpool
reserves.
Yeah.
But I think from that perspective, I think if you look at England's team, the average age is 24, 25. They've got a great opportunity to go and have a great tournament, get to a semi-final, maybe even a final. If they continue winning, I think they play all their games at Wembley, which is incredible for them. Both semi-finals and finals are going to be at Wembley. So if they just keep winning, they'll find themselves playing a home tournament essentially. But the biggest downfall is the pressure that the media put on them. And as soon as something goes wrong, there's an inquest as to why it went wrong. The first thing that's probably going to come out if Foden has a bad performance in his first game is, why did he dye his hair? Who does he think he is? He's not Paul Gascoigne. So those are the sorts of things. No, but those are the stupid sort of antics that come out of the English media, which tend to be the downfall of the team. But I think if you look at their squad, man for man, talent for talent, they're just as good as a lot of teams in this tournament.
Like a Belgium. It's like a
100%. I think that squad depth that they've got now is the best that we've seen from an English pool in a long time. Like England have always been known as a team that's supposed to compete. But when you look for it man for man, sometimes there were gaps in terms of where you see the depth coming, where you see the game winners coming. And it feels as if they've probably got it right. Although this squad selection created a few raised eyebrows to see so many right backs in the same team. But yeah, hopefully we can see Southgate get it right, because the players and the talent that he's working with is the best that we've seen, in my view, from England in the past 10 years, to be honest. Like, it's young, it's dynamic. The players are really good footballers, and they can follow instructions very well. So it's going to be tough to see how they do and perform this tournament.
Yeah. I think I had a discussion with someone the other day. I would have liked to have seen another striker be added instead of Ben White. I just think, if you're relying on, you've got two strikers there. You've got Kane and Calvert-Lewin. But if you're going to rely on Rashford being that third choice, if shit does hit the fan for them, if there's 2 injuries, for example, a red card or something like that, I don't think that's going to be. I would have personally like to have seen another striker be added there.
Watkins should have been included,
Watkins, or for me, if you look at complete stats, Bamford should have been looked at. He should have.
I thought you were going to say Callum Wilson.
Listen, Callum Wilson is on par. Callum Wilson is just behind Watkins, but he's got more goals than Rashford, more assists than Rashford. So if you're looking at him as your backup striker, I wouldn't say so. But I think he's gone with, he pretty much came out and said the team he's picked are the best players that can play for England. Not necessarily a balanced squad, but a team where he feels the players are the best players that England can produce in whatever position it is. I personally think they do lack in the goalkeeping department, which is a concern. I don't think Pickford's going to win them a Euro. But, anything can really happen. And I was disappointed with Henderson's performance the other day. Sorry, Claudio. I thought he was awful. And then he steps up and takes that penalty.
That was poor hit.
And I think Southgate wasn't too happy about that. I think Roy Keane had something to say. What did he say? What is his purpose?
Does he have potty tricks?
I think they've got everything but a goalkeeper, which is unfortunate. But yeah, it will be exciting.
They've never really had a good goalkeeper, have they?
I think David Seaman was probably their last sort of strong candidate.
Yeah, and even he was he had his moments where he was suspect. I don't know if it was his ponytail that got in his way or something, but even he had his moments. So I think that's something.
Yeah, that was once or twice, but not.
Yeah, but
more
if you look at the Arsenal man defending him. Sorry, my bad.
But I mean, if you look at Germany with Neuer, you feel safe. That's
confident. Yeah.
He's so confident. I mean, you go to Belgium, you feel safe and confident. So it is that might just be a downfall, but you never know. It's 7 games. 7 games, you win the tournament. You just have to do well out of it. And ask Claudia, you don't even have to win that many games to actually lift the trophy. How many games did you win? I think you won 1 game in 90 minutes.
You can draw 6.
They didn't win. Yeah, the rest of that, they didn't win any of them in 90 minutes. You're laughing. And we might as well move on to the teams I got. We might as well. Because obviously the first...
Wait, you didn't get the fourth one. The fourth one.
Hungary.
Okay, Hungary.
Okay, sure.
Hungary.
Yeah.
Hectic.
Hungary have 2 former Liverpool players in that squad. The 2 goalkeepers. The one playing for Leipzig, Golaci, the goalkeeper, and then the other one, Bogdan, that was on the Liverpool's books for 10 years. Never did anything. So those are the 2 Hungary players. But also, let's not forget what Hungary did at the last Euros. They nearly caused an upset, not Portugal out. Yeah, so I mean, Hungary can, and they're one of the host cities. So who knows? And it's interesting that they are in the group of death along with France, along with Portugal and Germany. And what's interesting about this is that they've got 0 expectation of them getting anything. So if they do manage to go out there and enjoy it, and say they get a big result in their first fixture, all of a sudden the other teams that pressure is already higher, and it already just ramps it up. So, there's a possibility. There's a possibility for Hungary to do something. I know you're saying it's not going to happen, Wonga, but, stranger things have happened.
No, I'm looking at...
Isn't their first fixture against Portugal?
I'm looking at Hungary here. At Hungary here. And they got... they got a good record, but the teams they win against... Cyprus, Andorra, San Marino. Then come Russia, hammer. Come Wales, hammered. Uruguay, hammered. Croatia, hammered. Slovakia, hammered. Montenegro, hammered. Nah, they're not going to do it.
So
They're not going to do it. I think they could where they are in the fourth spot.
That's a tough group. Okay,
That's right.
Claudio, you can go now. We can hear what you want to say. Yes.
All right,
You've got Portugal.
Yes, Portugal. But should I start with Portugal or should I start with the other ones?
Start with the other ones. Start with the other ones.
No, but there's a reason I was. There was a train of thought. Someone had said something about Portugal, and I was saying, anyway.
No, that you guys had six draws when you won the Euros.
Yes. Okay, on that point, Portugal before that, prior to that, had always had really, really good teams. Really, the golden generation, etc., etc., etc. But when they went to tournaments, they just couldn't get it across the line. They just couldn't get their shit together, and that's the bottom line. That tournament, they had the old man come in. He's still there now in charge. He came in. He was like, you know what? We're just not going to lose. They're similar to Tux, Nick. You know Tux, Mosso, same thing. You know, you don't concede goals. You can keep going to the tournament. And that's what they did, and they landed up getting something. As long as you've got a man up front, you can bag goals. And that's where Poland is an interesting one. And you're looking at other guys. As long as there's a man up front who can stick one away and you keep a clean sheet, you're always in for a shot. So it doesn't matter. Sure. Form can go out the window as long as you come together in those moments, right? But I'm going to start off.
That's how Uruguay have been successful in international football, is because they've always had Diego Forlan, Cavani, and Suarez. And if you shut the door at the back, you got world-class strikers up front. So yeah, I think that does help.
Yeah, and if we're looking at Portugal now, we don't just have Ronaldo. We've also got Jota who's playing. We've got Felix who's he's in and around.
What team does Jota play for?
Plays for Liverpool, bro. What's wrong?
Oh, okay. No, it's just always your reference as a Liverpool player.
Always.
Always. I wish we had more.
After Portugal's best player, the first person who mentions after the best player in Portugal is Jota. Yeah. Wow.
Jota,
he could have went and said Bruno Fernandes. But
the Man City players. You know what? I actually did. It shocks me. I mentioned Fernandes before the City players. But yeah, we've also got Ruben Dias. We've got Cancelo. We've got little man there. Yeah, Bernardo. We've got the players there. And that's exciting for me. We've also got squad depth, which in the first time in a long time we haven't had. The one worrying place for Liverpool, I said again, for Portugal. So yeah, come on, Liverpool.
None of us have said, oh no. Chelsea will do. Oh no, Man, or Arsenal, Newcastle. You're the only person who said Liverpool.
That's ingrained in me, guys. And also, you threw it in there when I was talking about Jota. But anyway, the worrying spot for Portugal is the fact that we've got. It's always our goalkeeper. I mean, the fact that Rui Patricio is still the number one means we're struggling in that area, and it's no different to England. So we'll see what happens when it comes to keeping clean sheets. The other teams I have Turkey. I know I think Arjun was saying some good things about Turkey. Now, Turkey is an interesting one. All I know about Turkey is we've got dark horse. We've got the centre back for Leicester
dark horse,
City. Yeah, we've got the centre. So Yunku. We've got the man Ozan Kabak that was at Liverpool. He's there. And then the issue for me is the man who leads the line. The man who leads the line is Toussaint, I think. And he's still there, but he's not an outside man.
No, but what about the little striker, Yilmaz?
But I see Toussaint's the one that starts, or am I stand corrected?
I don't know. I'm just saying that the guy, he just had a good season with Lille. I know he's like 34 years old.
There's an old guy that they trust. I don't know what his name
is.
Yilmaz
he's 35. So Toussaint's 30 and Yilmaz is 35 years old.
So can I give you a bit of insight?
That's all that matters.
Please.
Yes, you may.
I'll give you some insight on Turkey. So a couple of weeks ago, you guys all remember Muhsin Ertugrul?
Yes.
Former Kaizer Chiefs coach. So he had a chat with us. We had like a sort of workshop with him, and he actually works for the Turkish FA. So he works directly with the head coach of the national team. His job is to help him select the best squad for tournaments, and his first tournament was the Euros. So he just gave us insight in how they were operating, and their sort of mandate is to get back to the glory days of 2002 when they found themselves in a semi-final of the World Cup. They've got some cool methods in how they operate. I think they've also previously had a bigger pool of players to select from, where they've now sort of filtered it down to a select group that they've worked with now for 2 years. And their results have been decent. They've got a lot of people working around Europe, monitoring the players at the clubs. The players, when they come into camp, know exactly what they're about to do at training sessions, video analysis, what's expected in terms of the style and philosophy of what Turkey set to play at Euros. And it's quite cool to have someone who's actually close to home. You know, he's got a house here in Cape Town, travels back and forth from Istanbul to his home here in Cape Town, and he's going to the Euros with Turkey.
But did he say
it's quite interesting?
Is there a way for them in future to try and make sure they don't lose your Gunagans and your Uzels?
So that was a question someone had asked. He said it's a travesty in the last 10 years that they've lost. He said there's names that you speak about, but there's other names that we don't even know about that are plying their trade in the lower leagues of German football, where they also go to Holland. I think a lot of the Turkish players. So yeah, I think their sort of mandate has been to try and fix the youth system in terms of chatting to the parents and the players and the clubs of those young Turkish players, and try and get them into a system where they sort of keep them, because their heads get turned when a Borussia Dortmund or a Bayern Munich come in for them.
What's happening here? What's happening here, guys?
Yo, Arjun, Aman, you guys are getting charged.
Arjun, Aman.
How are you? Yeah, let them be, man. They're part of our team now.
Dia, come on, Dia.
Class is boring in any way. Class is boring.
Yes, join us. We're talking about the match in the world.
Don't expose these guys. Don't expose Aman and Arjun.
That's hilarious.
Arjun, what class is this, by the way? Arjun
what class are you skipping?
What class are you skipping, guys? What class are you skipping, apparently, James? Tell us, let us know.
Thank you for joining us, Dia. Thank you for joining us, Dia. The next one in the crew. Hey, let's skip those classes.
Stop it. Yeah, stop it.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Right, sorry, Nick, you want to finish there? You want to finish? What do you say?
No, I just think
all of a sudden we've lost two viewers. They go, Arjun and Aman, tell me you guys are still here, man. Anyway,
it's just going to be interesting to see what Turkey are going to do. Just seeing what was discussed from someone who's on the ground working with the head coach.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, we'll see.
It'll be interesting to watch.
I'll tell you another thing quickly. They had a meeting with UEFA. He actually went to the meeting, Mushin, about the fact that they have to travel to Baku in one of their games, where two other teams in their group don't have to travel. I think it's like a 6-hour journey. When he's like, why can't we just play in Istanbul or play somewhere like closer? But obviously Baku got the hosting rights. So I think they've got a game against Wales in Baku or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
That's far, man. That's far, man. Imagine you're flying from one side of Europe to basically Asia, basically.
Yeah. So anyway, but Claudia, you carry on. Who else is?
I just want to say I'm glad Dia's not a snitch. Thank you. I don't like snitches around here.
Advanced calculus and aeronautical engineering. Yeah, these guys, they don't need class, man. If they're doing heavy stuff like that, they don't need class. They really know what's going on.
Yeah, they know exactly what's going on.
They're so clever, but they support Man United.
It has gone quiet there. Anyway, right, gents.
So you don't see me. I'm also a clever man. I'm also a clever man, and I support Man United. Come on.
Who's your last two teams there, Claudio?
Right. Finland. I got Finland, and I'm pretty excited about having Finland. My reference point, again, Liverpool reference point, Sami Hyypiä is a legend there for Finland. But when I was in Norway, and I was playing for played for the side HamKam, I was playing with a guy there, and his name was Pekka. And Pekka actually played in the Bundesliga for Werder Bremen, and he was like towards the end of the latter stages of his career, and I managed to play with him a little bit. And now he's doing all sorts of TV presenting for Finland. So I'm pretty excited about that. The other thing I'm excited about is the man leading the line for Finland, guys. Can you guess who it is?
I think I know who it is.
It's Piku or
Pookie. Premier League.
Why did
Pookie.
I fucking think he was Iceland?
I don't know, but
No,
Pookie's
yeah.
there. Pookie's leading the line. There's another guy called Glenn Kamara. He's probably a Senegalese lad running around there for Finland. But yeah, look, to be perfectly frank, I don't know much about Finland, and that's why I'm pretty excited. So come the following fixtures, I'm going to learn a lot about these guys, and I'll have more to report back on.
Your last one has to be Sweden, eh?
Yes, and the last one is Sweden. And some names, it's all the Larsens and the Olsens and all those sort of guys that are running around there for Sweden. We know poor
Zlatan is
Zlatan's
out, eh?
involved. He's out, yeah. The man 39
Guys,
still getting a call up.
I normally travel to Sweden once a year. It's a great part of the world there. To be honest with you, I always have a soft spot for Sweden. And just an interesting stat or fact, Sweden hosted the 1992 Euros. And the Euro format then was only 8 teams.
Wow.
I don't know if you guys were aware of that.
Damn.
Yeah, and Scotland were at that Euros, by the way. They made it to that tournament.
Because you guys were big in the 90s, guys. Scotland was a
then-
big country in the 90s.
And they actually, the point system then was 2 points for a win and 1 point for a draw. So they scrapped that after that tournament, and then 1996 was Euro 96 in England, where they had 16 teams. So
Who won the 92 one?
Netherlands.
Denmark.
Denmark won. Netherlands won. Netherlands won 88. Netherlands won 88.
I think Denmark played against the Netherlands in the final, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, with the Laudrup brothers. And my dad went to Denmark in '95, and only thing he could say after coming back from Denmark was talk about Laudrup and the way he loves them. Like my dad used to love Denmark.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, that's
Talk
sweet.
about this love-hate relationship between Arjun and Dia.
What's going on here?
What's happening, bro?
All right, guys. I think just to pretty much wrap this up.
What team does Dia support in the Premier League, if any?
Yeah, Dia, please
Dia,
let us
given that
know.
you're here now, please.
Don't bug another person. Don't bug around me.
Jeepers, Arjun and Aman, you guys are recruiting. Also,
Nice one. I love it.
don't forget to join our Discord channel. Come on, the link's there. You guys know. Anyway, PSU Econ, is that your university name or something? Yeah, well, Go Lounge. Yes,
Sure.
I'm loving the shout out. Dia's asking what the Premier League is. This is super interesting. This is an interesting. Dia, you're gonna learn a lot on this show.
Dia, I wanna be controversial. Dia, are you related to Virat Kohli by any chance?
That is controversial.
That's quite controversial, bro. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I think just remove him from this chat, bro.
Get him out of here. No. All right, guys. So where were we? So we've all revealed our sides. All right. I think it's about that time where we focus and pretty much based on the group analysis and what we think is going to happen just from the groups. Where do you guys stand with your teams?
Yeah, my team's winning my group. Italy's winning their group. They're playing at the Stadio Olimpico tomorrow against Turkey. First game. It's going to be a tough one. I'm expecting that game could be a draw. But the other games, Italy will win. I suspect Italy will get 7 points from the group, either 7 or 9.
Okay, 7 or 9. What Wales, Turkey, and Switzerland in there? It's actually not as cut and dry as I think you think it is, Selo.
No, it's not. It's not at all. That's why I say
not at all.
that's why I say 7 points, though.
Okay, all right.
Gareth Bale, bro. You know Gareth Bale is.
Top Vince.
You know Gareth Bale was. You guys saw it on the power rankings. He was number 1, if I'm not mistaken, in Europe. I think they take your performance. I don't know what, but it's obviously your performances, and obviously they look at the number of games you've played. But Gareth Bale finished on top, so yeah, he's going to be a problem there, and I think Italy will see that.
Yeah, but I still do think out of that group, Italy and Turkey have a stronger chance than Wales. Wales are going to directly compete with Switzerland to get out of that group, in my personal opinion. That striking force at Wales is pretty good, but I don't know, man. Yes, I look at James and I'm thinking, man, I can't see 3 or 4 goals coming from him in the group stages where they'll need those type of goals. A Bale, yes, can shine for the country very, very well, but I just don't see it happening for Wales at this type of level, because there'll be teams of Italy and Turkey's nature.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think what's also interesting to note, like Selo had said earlier, the best third place teams are going to go through. So only 8 teams are going to. So you actually have to look here. I mean, who's the top 16 out of the 24? And that's sort of going to be. And if you look at it on paper, it's not always like that, as we know. It's quite clear who probably won't make it.
True, because if you remember the last tournament, which was the first time they did it, that 2016 one, if I remember correctly, Wales was one of the best number 3s, I think. If I remember correctly, I think they qualified via being the best number 3, and that's how they got to the semi-finals. So there will be that best number 3, I think, that surprises us. But otherwise, you are right.
Yeah. In that case, then two best number 3s got to a semi-final, because Portugal also did.
Oh yes, you are right. Yeah.
Well, on that note, guys, then let's talk about the Group B predictions. Obviously, Belgium, Denmark, Finland, and Russia. Wonga, your team. Obviously, Selo's team. One of my teams, and then Denmark as well.
I'm with Denmark.
Nick.
Belgium. I say Belgium number 1, Russia 2. Hey, I don't know about that 3rd and 4th.
You're saying Russia ahead of Denmark?
Denmark are strong.
Look, even the sorry, no, you're right. But I think that I think number 1 is taken for sure. Let's say that number 1 is 100% taken by Belgium. Just the way they've been playing. I just think they definitely take that one.
Yeah,
the other 3 spots. Sorry, go Musa.
Sorry, I think it's better for Belgium to be in a group of this nature, because in the past, we've always had, well, not always, but in the past 4 years, we've had pretty high expectations of Belgium and the work they've done to develop this squad once they get to a tournament, to impress. And sometimes it feels like if they do compete against a big team, they don't really have that BMT, if I could say that correctly, where they actually go out and compete against the top 8 teams and look like they're a better outfit than the top 8 teams in Europe.
Sorry, Mosa, we're just reading Dia saying, give him a second. He's just being called for a question.
Imagine, guys, you're watching Goalloungetv and then they ask you, hey, man, they ask you a tough question, you're like,
tough time for the
What's important to note here also is Denmark are also one of the hosts. Copenhagen is one of the hosts, so they've got a lot of their games at home. So I mean, Russia and Denmark here are going to be fighting for 2nd and 3rd, but Belgium are not hosting, which is interesting. So Belgium are going to have to go to Russia and Copenhagen. So I wouldn't say it's a foregone conclusion that's already 3 points. You might find that they drop points somewhere along the line. I think this home ground advantage is going to be very key for these teams.
It's huge.
Yeah. But, if you look at it on paper, you've got a Belgium team who will win. I think it will be Denmark 2nd, and I think Russia will get through via the best 3rd place teams, because when you have a team of Finland's nature, with all due respect, Claudio, that's where if there's a weaker team in the group, that's where the third place teams come alive and they get enough points and goals to eventually go through.
Yeah, that's very true. Very, very true. Dia, I think you can take a guess. Listen to our accents and let's see if you type in the comments, you let us know where you think we are from, and we'll tell you if you're getting warmer or colder. I think that's something fun we can do here. Guys, next group we're going to talk about is Group D, the predictions, and that is a decent one. Oh, sorry, I've skipped one. Group C.
Wow,
And that is a nice one for Netherlands. We've got Austria, Netherlands, North Macedonia, and Ukraine. So Netherlands, despite the fact that they got one of the De Boer brothers there coaching them, I think that's a fair shot for them in this group.
Claudio, Dia answered you.
Let's see what
we're not from Saudi Arabia. I don't know. Try again.
Hit the nail on the head. Hit the nail on the head. I think the South African accent does give it away somehow.
Yeah.
Whatever the accent is.
I think. Yeah, go for it, Wonga. Sorry, man.
No, well, no, but I didn't have much to say. But I think obviously Netherlands goes on top. North Macedonia, you know them. How do they even get there? Gee whiz.
Nations League.
Every time I look at North Macedonia, they get pummeled.
They qualified through the Nations League. That was the value of the Nations League, where they had the different A, B, C, and D. And if you were the best out of the worst, you got a place in Euros. That's how Hungary. That's how Hungary got in as well, and that's how Scotland got in as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think obviously everyone knows. I think maybe Austria second and Ukraine third. That's what I predict that one to finish. But yeah.
I think that's a fair shot. Guys, also, can I just say that we've got some really, Settle's already touched on how smart the people listening to us are, but wow. We've got these people studying at Stanford, yeah?
I went to Stanford for a visit. My word. Like, I felt stupid going inside there. It was just driving through the town. It's just so many clever people.
Nick, you can't be that stupid if we've got Stanford people watching us here.
There's Stanford people watching us. Come on, Nick. Come on.
This is a lecture there for Arjun, boy. He's listening to us. So he should be there in Stanford.
Interesting football stat. LA Galaxy and San Jose Earthquakes. It's a derby in the MLS. They play their league game home and away every season at Stanford's home ground. Stanford's University Football Stadium. It's
cool. It's very cool. So it's that big.
That's that big. It's huge. I think it's like 65,000. Massive.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool because
I have a picture outside.
American sports have been like going back and watching, like the NBA is full, the NASCAR is full and stuff. So yeah, but I guess in America, it's full to capacity again, which is pretty cool. I wish obviously we could be out and about watching sports again.
Jeez. Yeah, man. Guys, also, can you see what Nick was doing here? He's literally giving us all the stats, boy. Like all the players that are going to be missing this tournament. Good work,
guys. What if it's me just using his logins?
I would be impressed too.
No, it's not me.
Why are you trying to claim things? All right, guys. Group D. This is the one for Musamos. Okay, we've got Croatia, Czech Republic, England, and obviously Nick as well, Scotland.
Yeah.
It's an interesting shot, yeah.
I think England should come out of this group quite comfortably. They'll probably get their 3 points against Scotland and Czech Republic and fight for a good result against Croatia, which they have the capacity to do, given, Croatia and this rebuilding phase of theirs. But I do think we'd see England come out top of the pops, Croatia come out second, and Scotland coming out third, ahead of Czech Republic in that one.
Yeah, I think for me, I think England, I think the two key games are obviously the first two. I think if they get through Croatia, it will be a big relief, because I honestly think Scotland's going to be, it's not going to be a foregone conclusion. I think there's going to be a lot of pride at stake for both teams. England, Scotland are going to be playing with nothing to lose. If they can spoil the party for their neighbors down south. That will be like winning the Euros for them. So I think they need to win their first game against Croatia, but I do see the group probably ending first, second, and third, as you had mentioned, Musa. But I would like to see Scotland get a result against Czech Republic and potentially a draw somewhere else to give them a chance to at least get through to the last 16.
All right, guys. Valid points. I'm just really impressed here because Dia is saying Arjun answered the question perfectly. He pretends to be dumb. And he comes back saying, boys, I'm back. Fuck science, man. Boring as fuck.
What a legend!
Guys, Arjun is just crazy, guys. Arjun is
And then it
just
says,
like,
it's like
What did you
Arjun,
do?
keep me your ways.
Legend.
Yo,
I'm assuming they're doing online school, online university.
must
Yeah,
be.
I guess-
How's he in school? Making his way there.
yeah, I guess the ones who aren't there yet, I guess they're doing online for now, which is pretty cool. Which is pretty cool, man. I think these international conglomerate is spicing up our show.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. Super, super cool, guys. Okay, now we're on to the Group E. Poland, Slovakia, Spain, and of course, my Sweden. So what do we think here?
I can see Spain going
Yo.
out in the group stages here. I think this isn't
That's true.
easy.
Big call.
This isn't
I-
easy.
I feel you there, Nick. I don't see it as impossible for them to go back home, or however you call it, because they're playing everywhere now.
I think my question to you is, if you're Sweden or Poland in this group, do you fear Spain, the current Spanish team?
You don't.
No. No, you
You
don't.
Not
wouldn't
as-
fear them.
Especially with all
Yeah.
these changes that are happening right now, it's not as
And
scary.
then if you're Slovakia, who's there just to make up the numbers, you would be like, well, it's a free hit. Maybe we can even finish third and get out that way. So I think that's a very tight group. I wouldn't like to call predictions on that.
No,
That's true.
no. But I think Poland, decent. I think you spoke about it, Wonga. Poland, decent shots. As long as they got Lewandowski, they've got goals.
Yeah.
I think Sweden, it's between Sweden and Slovakia wild cards. And like you said, Spain could choke. But I think Poland, for me, a different shoe in making it through to the next round.
Guys, for Spain to go through, guys, they should not start Morata. Yarr, man, there's a game where they played. Morata was clear on goal. One of the keeper shoots, hits the post. Like I think it was against Portugal, man. I was like, no, man, guys, Spain need to move on from him and start Moreno or someone
True.
else, guys. But
I agree.
Morata's not the guy, guys.
I also don't think Morata's the way.
No. And Pumani
Sure.
saying, Spain is unknown. But also, shout out, Arjun, you are recruiting slowly. I know we talk a lot to you here on the show, but like he says, guys, studying equals watching Goal Lounge because he loves us. So shout out to that. And we love you too, man.
Stop
That's
it!
Stop it! Aman, don't worry. We're also backing your boys, Brentford, coming back to the Premier League.
Yes,
Okay,
Aman,
now-
yes, definitely.
Guys, Group F. The group of death.
Group of death.
What do we think
Yeah,
is
the
going to
proper
happen here?
group of
This can go anywhere. I know, Pums,
Hungary's
give us
dead.
your opinion. Nico, let's hear this. Hungary's dead in the water.
Dead
Group
in
of
the
dead.
water.
They're dead. Hungary die. That's all.
Yeah, and Hungary's best player is even.
Do they die hungry?
Only if they don't score a goal, maybe.
I think this group is going to be very tight, guys. I think the big teams will take points off each other, so there won't be any team in this group, I feel, that will come out with 9 points. If that team comes out with 9 points, that team, we can just give them the Euro tournament already. But I feel that they'll get points off each other, so it will either be a draw or a loss against a team, and all that type of stuff. So I think it's going to be a tight group. But I think that France will top the group, and then Germany and Portugal will fight for second.
I think if you look at the three, I think they should all get through anyway. If you look at how it is, because they just need to all make sure that they do a job on Hungary. But then you are sitting there in the Hungary camp thinking, everyone's written us off. We've got 0 to lose.
True.
Let's go. Let's get a draw against 1 or 2 of them, and then they end up going out anyway.
Or
You
let's
know,
be or let's be the number 3 and someone else gets knocked out.
Yeah, maybe Portugal this time. I mean Liverpool. I mean, sorry, I don't know which one.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Love it, Nick.
Guys,
Yes,
Nick was
yes,
saying
yes.
Hungary is going to finish number 1. He's saying Nico number 1. He's saying Hungary number 1, Germany number 2, France number 3, and Liverpool number 4.
Guys, no one said Greece would win Euro 2004. No one said it.
With corners.
Greece came out of nowhere, and Greece has been nowhere since that final. So maybe Nico knows something. Maybe Nico knows something.
What's the odds? What's the odds on Hungary winning, guys? Let me go put
That's
20
right.
rand or something, and maybe I win 2,000. You know,
Let's check those.
There's no way.
Let's check the odds quickly.
guys, these things you just put 20 rand, you forget about it. Next thing you know, you got 2,000 rand for 20 rand.
You know what? Also,
Just
Silo, you're
Imagine
saying
the
this
day
with the
Hungary
financial guy.
lifts Euros.
But guys, Selo's saying this as the financial guy. Watch someone go do that, and then we all think he's taking the piss, and someone actually goes and wins this money. Let's check the odds here.
It's probably
I wanna
100
check.
to 1.
I don't even think North Macedonia's odds will be available, to be honest with you. You laugh, but I'm being serious. Genuine.
Nah, man, people like taking money. Anyway, yeah, here we got Pumalani. Pumalani! Yes, Pums! Portugal to top the group. The team is so hot. I like the spice, guys. Sorry, I got to bring that's as
You
much.
see,
as my
Aman,
energy's
see
going.
what Aman is saying. Aman is right, guys. Just worth a fiver. Just small money. Nothing something that you buy. I don't know, whatever you buy that you consume on a daily. Yeah, and then just put that money there, and then just forget about it. If they get out the first round, it's something that you just always spend on a daily.
Just miss lunch tomorrow and then put that money on there.
Exactly, easily. Man. or that beer that you buying tomorrow. Musa.
Hey,
Don't buy 6 beers. Buy 4.
Shut up.
That's not possible with Musa.
Especially not for Hungary. No, not for Hungary.
You see, this is right. One beer worth.
No, I know you guys are thinking the odds may be favorable for if you do take a massive bet against all the other teams, but I really don't think there's a chance that Hungary will be able to pull off an upset by winning the entire thing. Maybe the best they can do is get a draw against one of these 3 teams,
Sure.
but to push it the whole way, not a chance, gentlemen.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, it's even for there's no chance. And I'm actually concerned now looking at this group. I'm actually concerned that this group will not have a strong number 3. Given you'll probably find the top 3 here either collecting 1 point against the others and then winning one of their games against Hungary, and that might then rule out 2 of them already, or
Yeah,
only
you're right.
allow 2 of them to qualify, which will make it tough for the top 3.
Yeah, you're right. So one of them might not get in because of that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's quite scary actually looking at that. But I'm glad France will get in, so that's fine.
Pumlani doesn't. Pums doesn't agree with you. He says you're going out.
I said France and Portugal to go through. I think Germany
Poblani, come on!
be number 3.
All right, guys. That pretty much concludes the show for today. Final thoughts before we try and get Armand to recruit his other friends there in our Super Brew League, as well as Pumalani and Nico and everyone else.
Come on, England. Come on, Scotland this weekend.
Let's go, La France. Sort out your beef there in the locker room and let's go, gents.
Forza Azzurri.
Shaka in.
Wonga, yes, guys, I want to say
Shaka in.
We love Shaka. We love
We
Shaka.
love Shaka.
We love Shaka. Hey, guys, Dia is
Oh,
back.
they're
Dia's
back. They're back.
Dia.
What is happening? What is happening? What time? Oh, but yeah, it's in the afternoon for Dia in the States then.
Yes,
because she's behind in time. But our June is ahead of us in time. But yeah, it'll be.
Yeah,
But she
dear,
needs.
don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to join our Super Brew League. Aman can show you the
and the
ropes
Discord.
there. And the
Discord
Discord
channel.
channel.
And Discord
Please.
channel, and Discord channel, and Discord channel, and
Yeah.
she needs to pick a team to support in the Premier League.
Yes.
Yeah, shout out
Yeah.
to that. Yeah, there's this other team in blue. Where's like a dark blue? It's called Chelsea. They've just won the Champions League. Really good team. Really, really great team. Go for it, dear. You won't be disappointed.
Dear, the same team that Aman supports. The same team that Aman
5-year
supports.
contract.
Hold on. I'm just. Is it? How do you spell Super Brew, guys? Is it
BRU, Super and BRU.
But is it super with an A, or is it like super?
No, Super is super.
Oh, Super Brew. All
like
right,
Superman.
there we go. The link will be in the description below. It's spelled like that, Super Brew. All right, and don't support Chelsea. You know what? If anything, dear, support the team in black and white because Nick is lonely. Nick is lonely.
Dear, you might
Newcastle
not be with us
United.
next season.
Come on. No, we are. We are. We have to stay.
You'll have tears, real tears.
Dear, Virat Kohli supports Manchester United. Yes, you see, I'll support Arjun's team. Yes, dear. You can come back.
Oh no, dear.
Why can't I see these comments?
I love it, dear. Yes.
We had so much faith in you, dear.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Support Arsenal.
Guys, Arjun is the worst.
All right.
You guys are laughing.
I'm gonna end the show. Otherwise we can keep going here.
Let's go
Also,
to 1:30.
Arjun, ask Dia out, man. Come on, give her a shot there. Just
Yeah, man. Take out Dia on a date there, eh? Arjun.
Come on.
The Zoom date. There.
That's
Zoom
nice.
date. Take out on a date.
And on that note, we know how to end the show on Arjun's famous words. 3, 2, 1.
Stop.
Stop.
it.